What is a Children's Justice Center? A Children's Justice Center is a confidential environment where victims of child maltreatment are interviewed and resources provided for the victims, families, and secondary trauma victims. The Children's Justice Centers utilize a multidisciplinary team approach, including members from law enforcement, prosecutors, child protection disciplines, and victim advocacy to ensure safety, reduce further trauma, and foster resilience. The Children's Justice Center of Summit County is the beginning of the investigative and resource process.
Hey Chloe, what's up?
Well, this weekend I was in a situation with someone and they made me feel really uncomfortable.
Oh, what was it?
I was with someone that I trusted and now I don't feel safe around them because they made my body feel unsafe.
Occasionally, teens feel reluctant to report when something's happened to them or if they feel uncomfortable in a situation, but it's super important that we encourage teens to report to a trusted adult so that that trusted adult can go to the Division of Child and Family Services as well as law enforcement so that we can get them taken care of and safe.
It's mandatory for you to report these kind of things, but also there is a lot of resources in our community that can help you after that with everything you need and to support you and your child to go through this.
You know, in my after-school soccer camp, I've really been noticing that one of the kids on the team is really not acting like themselves from what I've seen in years past, and I've seen a lot of bruising in strange places that normally you wouldn't see when you play soccer.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that so I know how to address this?
I've asked him about it a couple different times and he kind of changes his story, and I'm concerned that there might be something else going on.
Wow, this is so important. Thank you for telling me.
As an adult or an adult who works with children, you are a mandated reporter. If you see, hear, or suspect any abuse, it is your responsibility to report it.
It's very scary, but it's something that you need to do for you and for your child, and your family is going to understand why you did this. And you can have help with everything that's going to come after, with how you feel, how your kid feels, and how to deal with all of this.
In some circumstances, parents or caregivers may discover that their children are using the internet or their phones to have contact with potential perpetrators. This could be sexting messages or taking photos of themselves in inappropriate type situations. Those are also situations in which it's reported.
Hey officer, I have a question, something kind of going on with my daughter.
Okay, how can I help you?
She told me that she had kind of a weird situation that went on with a teacher, someone who was supposed to be helping her, and she felt really uncomfortable with it, but I'm not sure if it's worth talking to anyone about.
Tell me more about that.
So she was in kind of a close contact area, and she asked for some help, and then the teacher reached over and there was some touching. I did talk to the teacher afterwards, but he said that it was just an accidental kind of brush sort of thing, but it still made her feel really uncomfortable.
Anytime something like that happens, it should always be brought up to law enforcement.
And in Summit County, the officers who work at our local agencies are also belong to task forces like the statewide Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force and the FBI's Child Exploitation Task Force. So we get the benefit of having these large task forces that help serve Summit County. So it's important that it's reported to local law enforcement.
In the state of Utah, anyone who is 18 years or older is a mandated reporter. This means if you suspect child abuse, it needs to be reported to law enforcement or to the Division of Child and Family Services.